We have our first caller already. Remember, the first part of our show will be addressing the queries sent in by our women viewers. So first up, Madhura has called in from Pune. Hi, Madhura.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
Hello, ma'am. Actually, I have 240 shares of SBI at the rate of 290.50.
Okay.
And I want to know what should I do now.
Okay, is this a recent buy for you?
Yeah.
Okay, and normally are you a long-term investor or have you bought it with a trading perspective?
Long-term investing.
Okay, that's good. So Mayuresh, over to you on SBI. She's recently bought in with a view to hold it for the long term.
Afternoon, Sumera. I think if you clearly go by the numbers for the last quarter, the numbers were quite encouraging for State Bank of India. The asset quality held up very well for State Bank. The NIMs were maintained. And again, I think purely doing a comparison check between State Bank and the other PSU peers, I think it fared much better on all these parameters. Going forward, I think the credit growth is expected to remain sluggish for at least 2 quarters. But for the better part of the year, expecting credit growth between 9 and 10% for State Bank of India. The provision coverage ratio at 64% is probably one of the highest within the top tier PSU names. And again, I think in terms of absolute gross asset ratios at 62,000 crores, I think it is quite commendable for its balance sheet size. Again, I think the kind of overhang that one perceives with the 15,000 crores FPO probably coming through, our take is probably with a very strong liability franchise that State Bank currently has and with a strong CET1 ratio as well. I think it can be highly value accretive for State Bank and its stakeholders. So our take is probably the earnings growth should continue for State Bank. And again, I think in terms of asset quality, I think the problems would be far or less over, more or less over in the next couple of quarters. Again, from a valuation perspective, trades at around 1.4 times price to adjusted book. And again, not including the life insurance business in that. So if I do a SOTP kind of comparison, again, I think a value of around 350 rupees for State Bank looks quite reasonable over the next 12 months.
Okay, so overall you would recommend holding, Mayuresh?
Oh yes, absolutely. I think, but again, I think at least a year's time frame is what you should look at, because I think the asset quality might probably cause jitters for the entire PSU pack, which might also drag SBI down.
Okay, so that's the call coming in on SBI. I hope Madhura got that 1 year perspective, and maybe you should hold SBI from the current levels that you, or the levels that you bought it.